Welcome, artists and our fans. Thank you for turning into the only spot where we chat with artists about their trade, their tools, and some tips. Let's meet the artists behind the art, shall we? We know that they walk the walk. Let's hear them talk the talk. I'm your host, Zim Zimma, and you're on Chatting with Zim. This is episode 30. Let's see, awesome today. This is going to be the second one for today. A special shout out to Poca Arts earlier today. For guys who missed it, definitely check into the YouTube channel. It'll be there. Right now, today's guest, he joins us all the way from Arkansas, here in the States. So we got a U.S. native. Amazing artist with a gnarly style. If you guys haven't seen it, you can find his work here on Instagram. I present ConArtist from ConArtist Graphic Design. Let's get him on the show, guys, as we welcome him. I want to thank you all, guys, for definitely tuning in. Here we go. Let's get him up. Let's get him up here on the screen. And thank you, guys, for tuning into the show today. Hey, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I love that pose right there you got going on, man. Very, very villainesque.
Well, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All you need is a cigar and something to drink, man.
No shit. Well, I got the drink. right here.
There you go.
So how's it going, man? Poker. That was good. I liked it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I was honestly just sweating balls, man. I was sick as a dog. The pills hadn't kicked in by that time, and it was just crazy, man.
Yeah, I can hear
awesome
the sniffling every now and then, you know.
Yeah.
It was really good. I enjoyed it. She had a lot of good her views on people, giving criticism to artists and stuff like that. It was good inside. Even my girlfriend commented on that, and she liked her. She said she really enjoyed watching it as well. And you'll see her down there, Creasy Jolie. She's probably tuned in on this one though.
Definitely, she second one to join. Tina one, thank you.
She's a stalker.
Neon Hayes, thank you guys. Josie Trailer, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is episode 30, man. ConArtist.
30. I wish I was 30 again.
So let's see. How's your day, man? How's your day going?
Man, my day's been pretty good. Sunday, I got to go back to work tomorrow, so I've just been grinding out. I was just, to be honest with you, I've been right here in the Confidence Man studio and personal gallery all weekend, fucking grinding it out, trying to get this done on that hummingbird lily. It's been a beast. I'll tell you what, Zim, it was a monster on the detail and the layers and just what it takes to get it done with. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I think it was Jeff Coney at ConArtist.
Yeah.
He said, if you quit worrying about making mistakes and just go with it, you'll find your style. And I firmly believe that is the truth, because I think that's how I get my style, is because I don't worry about the mistakes. I own them and incorporate them. And I just... every mark counts, and you don't put it down unless you just don't put it down unless you're ready to own it. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
Especially.
No, yeah, I fully agree with what you said, man. You definitely got to own your stuff, and I talked about it earlier, and with many other artists, as far as my watercolor goes, one of the reasons why I like it so much is because once you're able to control it, and just move it where you want it. Sometimes you mess up, and if you really know what you're doing, I guess you're able to go ahead and cover up those little details.
Yeah, see, watercolors always scared me. Painting, has been something that I've tried here and there and just never really could get it. My grandmother, she was an oil painter, and I used to sit at her kitchen table and try, and man, I just felt like I was just turning everything into this dull brown color no matter what I did, everything mixed. I was like, I can't do this. I don't know how. I guess it just turned me off of oil painting, and I just never really did fall back into it, And as a matter of fact, I never even got into color until 2010, I think.
Wow.
or 13. I did my very first color piece ever. I've always done just graphite or pencil and charcoal, or hit it just ink on paper, and that's a lot of how I, kind of self-taught myself to go with it. Is I would force myself to use only inks to where you couldn't afford a mistake, especially when you got to something that was, big and you put so many hours into it, and you have to. Uh, it's tedious, and I'll tell you what. Sometimes I just get burned out on it, and like the hummingbird lily, I'm not even kidding you, Zim. It took over a month and a half, and I've put well over 40 to 45 hours into that thing alone. And there were moments where I would sit here and I would look at it and I would just want to throw up in my mouth because I didn't even want to look at it because I knew I
Oh
just needed
man.
to get it done. And but it pushed me, and it did. And but it worked. It does. You got to grind it out every day, no matter what. Even if you just feel like you can't do it, you just got to grind it out and just get it done, because you're never gonna, if you can't push yourself to do that, then how are you going to push yourself to make it? You know what I mean? And not
No.
even make it, but just you know, uh, as a kid growing up, there were artists like I saw them, and it's just like instantly I was like, I remember that name: Frank Frazetta, Boris Vallejo, H.R. Geiger. Them guys. It's like their art was so outstanding, though I could never afford to ever go out and buy any of their stuff at all. Their names were always there, and it's just their artists I remembered, even though I never gave them anything financially out of my
Yeah,
own
yeah.
pocket because I can't afford that shit. Their name stuck in my head, and it did inspire me a lot, through my art related years, just seeing their things, and later on finding out that all the He-Man we loved when we were growing up was all based on Frank Frazetta, characters by the guy who drew the He-Man characters. He based them all off Frank Frazetta stuff. And, little did I know that until like a few months ago when I was watching these are our toys from when we grew
Oh
up on
yeah, yeah.
Netflix
That's
or some
awesome
shit.
show.
And the guy talking about it was like, and I was like, no way, no wonder I like He-Man, because Frazetta was always someone that I loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
and I actually caught the episode, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It kind of surprised me too, so I'm right there with you, man.
right. So it's cool. It's just hoping that one day I can push somebody to do it a little faster and a little harder than I did, just by seeing something that, got if I could put out one piece of art that'll turn, if somebody just saw it scrolling through the internet and was like, that's kind of badass. You know what I mean? I've never seen nothing like that. That makes me want to pick up a pen. That's what I want, to do for
Yeah.
art and artists
No.
and the community. And so I love you because you're doing the same thing in your
Oh,
own
thanks,
way.
bro.
You're putting a step to it. You're the art, and you are supporting the artists and pushing the artists, and you're giving them a venue to get out there and just say, hey, this is what I do. I
Uh,
want to do it.
Thanks, bro, and I love you too, man. Honestly, I do appreciate you guys. Not just artists, but human beings as well, man. You're a good human being. I got love for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody, and that's what I
So
try to do is
definitely.
just support. I think some people probably think I'm a weirdo because I'll just randomly say stuff to people that I see on Instagram, which I'm still trying to figure out, and you've kind of helped me a little bit through that. But this is all new to me. I've never done nothing like this before.
Nah, man, dude,
Well,
you're doing awesome, dude, and I definitely like I like your studio, bro. It's fucking badass.
oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I finally my girl finally gave me the go ahead to give me my own space because she knew I needed it, or we were going to end up breaking up. Because what I mean? It's like I needed somewhere I could create, and I needed the kids to not be just boom, boom, boom around me. Because when they see you doing, they want to do.
Oh yeah.
They want to throw down with you, and they want you to be like, show me how to draw, show me how you do that. And it's like sometimes you do, and sometimes you need that time to yourself. And it's she knew I needed a space. She gave it to me, and I give you the studio.
Oh,
Thank you.
awesome, dude. I mean, I definitely I got love for that as well, man. You know what I'm saying? It's I got my little studio is just mixed with like figures and art, but I definitely got to work on it a little bit more, and let's see where it goes from there, man.
Well, I tell you what, if I wasn't so damn personally attached to all my shit, and didn't have to just have it hanging on my wall, I probably wouldn't need a space like this. I could do it somewhere on a little desk, but I mean, it's just I'm personally attached to every one of these things. That I love them. They speak to me, every one. So
Sweet.
they may be funny looking or goofy or cartoony, whatever people want to look at them. I know it's not some people's cup of tea the way I draw, but to me, it meant something when it came out because I never planned any of them. They all just I never knew what I was going to do until the paper hit the pen hit the paper, and then it just came. It just happened, and they come from somewhere. I don't know what it is, but they mean something. So that's why I've never been
Yeah.
able to get rid of any of my art. Never sold any. Never done anything like that. So
Yeah,
it's been
no, yeah,
hard.
it's definitely for the passion, man. And just
Yeah.
before we go any further, man, do you want me to refer to you as Con Artist or as Trent?
Any way you want to, really. Because I sign all my work Connor. My con artist is it's my cool ass whatever little name I made up when I was
Dude,
younger. You know what I mean?
no, no, no,
But
definitely, man. And I could
and then
appreciate that, man, because it's like Zim. Refer to me as Zim. My real name's Mario, but I prefer Zim.
okay, con artist it is then, because I do like
Cool.
the con artist and Jason Dorota, and I kind of yelled at him. I was like, dude, you screwed up my name. And I got thinking, I was like, no, he didn't. He just didn't add the graphic design. It's con artist graphic design,
Yeah.
not, and I was like, I've been doing it so long on Instagram that I haven't said con artist in so long that I just got used to saying con artist graphic design. And I kind of yelled at him. I was like, you said it wrong. And I was like, no, he didn't. He actually said it right. I was thinking wrong. So I had to catch myself on that one. So, yes, con artist, if you
Sweet,
don't
man.
mind.
So, man, Con Artist, man, let's rewind. Take us from day one, man. What got you on this path of drawing? And when did that bug hit you, man?
Man, to be honest with you, I've had people ask me that before, and I can firmly remember being in fifth grade in Irving, Texas, and drawing stick figures and tanks on notebook paper. I wasn't doing anything fantastic. I was just doodling stuff and never really paid attention to it. My grandparents, I remember them getting me a few things art-wise, but I just kind of dismissed it.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. It really wasn't until I guess high school when I guess I met Jason Drawn, or you know him as Jay Strawn.
Yeah.
He said to tell you hi, by the way. We went
Oh,
to school
cool. What a
together,
shout out.
and yeah, and he great guy. I love him. He's one of my four brothers. One of the other is a girl, even though she is just one of the brothers. Uh, but yeah, he would draw all the time, and I didn't have the passion for it. And he would sit there and draw stuff that I was interested in. He was a nerd the same as me, like we like the same nerdy shit like Predators and Aliens and comic books and Venom and all this stuff. And we were passing comic books around the classroom and art just because not for the stories but for the art. That's back when
Hmm.
McFarlane was real big. Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Mark Texeira, Jay Lee, all them guys were just smashing out some badass Marvel artwork.
Oh yeah.
And and a lot of them were covers, and it was and him doing that, he kind of got me into drawing. He's like, dude, you got an eye for it, and it's like, so this is kind of like Jason's been a big mentor for me through the years of art because he's kind of pushed me and, hey, you're better, you should do something. And every time I'd post something, dude, color it, you do something with that, color it, finish it. Don't throw it in your little book like you like to do, which I got a damn stack like that of just concepts or stuff that I'm going to do one day or stuff that I was working on, and I didn't have the right material to finish, like the right pen or the right color or what I saw in my head. So I just dropped it, and I knew one day I'd pick it back up when I was ready. And but he would always be like, "Do that, color that, do that," And it's like he pushed me a lot, and he's pushed me a lot in art. And so a lot of this, the hummingbird lily that I plan, if you don't mind, showing for the first time in full, finished on your show for anybody
Definitely.
that cares to see it, and it is a collaboration piece where Jace actually did another side of the bridge per se, and you've seen them. His 9 pieces or his pieces he has that go together. That's the other half of this. it's a shout out to him. I love him. He's been a big influence to me through my years of life, and
No,
this
definitely,
is
man.
kind of
So
dedicated to him.
awesome,
So
awesome. Shout out to Jace underscore drawn guys for you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys follow. And
yeah, he's a great
Connor,
guy,
hey,
great artist, great artist.
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. That's awesome, man. That you guys actually have that that support for each other so early back then, man. That's I think that's something that artists or anybody needs in general. You know, if you're whatever it is that you guys want to do in life, you know, not just you but general. You know, it's always good to have that support, man. So
It
that's
is, and
awesome.
I've said that to several people. That's the number one tool in my bag is support, man. You support someone, it'll it'll push you forever. You know what I mean? Because the second you don't help somebody up, they're not going to get up. You know what I mean? They're just
No,
going to say,
yeah,
I'm tired of it.
no,
So you got
and
to tell them, man, keep pushing, keep grinding. That looks great. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Just go. You got to just support everybody, and you need
no,
that,
awesome, man.
especially as an artist,
Awesome,
because you can't
awesome.
have somebody saying,
And you know, I want to give you a big thank you and shit. You know, I definitely needed that support right before the show, man. Things are just going crazy. I was
hey, no problem. I was afraid you about to get a little mad at me about it, but I was just like,
no,
man, this is
no,
awesome. Just think,
no, man.
just do this.
He
So,
definitely ConArtist is like, man, Tim, you better bring your A game. I was like, fuck, the pressure's on.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's awesome, man.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I'm sick. My nose
Uh,
is draining. It was like, but you did it. There's a couple times I just heard a little, but that was it.
yeah.
You did pretty good. You did good. You hit it
Well,
well.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Oh, and a little, I don't know, I need these postal slaps that you guys do. I've been seeing a lot of these since I've started following you and other guys like Bruce 13, Halo, and a few other guys that do these postal slaps. What is that? What is that? I know it's a style, or it's a I don't know, but how long has that been going on? Where'd that come from?
So a little quick background. It's I'm 34 now. When I was in high school, I used to roll with a lot of graffiti artists. I was big into hip hop. So as a graffiti artist, I was introduced to it when I was in high school. You know, you would grab these. It was an art, graffiti art kind of thing. You know, where you grab it, you post your art, your tag, and then you go around town and you slap them all over the place. You know, get your name up, and that's where I was introduced to it. You know, when I come back to Instagram, I wasn't really thinking about it, but I started seeing Fatal Halo, and then I met Bruce 13, you know, and they brought it all back, and that pretty much it's like a a little underground community thing. It's not,
Right.
yeah, I highly recommend that to artists who are trying to join. It's something that you could carry in the back of your pocket, get a nice pencil or pen in there, you know, and definitely practice a craft. You know, it's not always doesn't have to be graffiti wise, you know, but I've seen a lot of different people just messing with their own styles, and it looks great.
See, yeah, I've been kind of curious about it, and I was thinking about doing it myself, and I actually went down and picked up these and thought maybe just that because you guys, but I don't know if I got the right thing. I don't think I don't think they're actually slaps. I just went in and picked them up, and I was like, I don't think these are the right ones, but I was thinking them guys do it and they make it look pretty good. I was like, I think I might just throw one of those out there and see how it looks and see how the canvas works because y'all seem to have pretty good fun on it.
So let me tell you a little something. Once they're small like this, you know, they're small pieces of paper. They're stickers. You could get them and they'll stick onto the wall. Uh, you actually you order them through online, so I'll definitely
Oh, you can?
yeah, yeah. You order them online. They're free. You don't pay anything out of pocket, and they ship
Okay,
them
so I just
straight
went
to
to
your
the
house.
post office and grabbed them. So I just figured it was something you just picked up at the post office. And I
Oh
grabbed
no.
those. They were out there, and I was like, well, this looks like them. Because I only, on Instagram, oh, on Instagram, you can't tell how big things are sometimes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And it's like, it's hard to tell what you're doing, because sometimes when you just see a picture of it, it's like you think it's huge, and it turns out being a little 2 inch by 2 inch picture, which is like, there's actually a guy I follow. His I'll have to look up his name and hit you with it later. He's actually someone that if you could get on, I would love to hear how he does these things. I'll send you his name after the show if you want. Uh, he does these little 2x2 canvases that he does this acrylic on. It looks like oil paint, and the detail is so amazing that with the first, I've been seeing him just thinking of these huge pieces, and then I see one of his close-up little fingers and this little micro brush, and he's painting these little
Oh
things, and
wow,
it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that these things are only 2 inches. And
wow.
does that.
Hello,
Did I
can you
lose
hear
you?
me? No, no,
Did
I'm
I lose
good.
you?
No, can you hear me?
You got me still?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
I kind of lost you. Yeah,
Oh,
I lost you in my headphones, but I got you on my phone now. I guess my Bluetooth went out.
oh, probably. Yeah, I definitely hear you. Not pretty clear too. So,
Are you echoing back?
no, not at all.
Okay. As long as you're not echoing back, that's the only reason I was worried about these. I didn't want that sound coming back. But if you can hear me all right, then
No,
we'll
yeah,
just keep on
perfect,
rocking.
man. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I hear you perfect.
Sweet, let's do it. So, yeah, man. So we were just talking about, just how you got into it. As an artist, man, I know this whole Instagram thing is new to you. Are you anywhere else, or have you ever tried any other platform before coming here?
Man, I'm like about everybody else that I've heard you talk to. I try to deviant art and just like, yeah, I don't want to mess with all this. And Facebook, I would just post stuff on Facebook, but I have a social problem where I just don't like. I don't consider just people that want to send me a friend request friends. It doesn't. I'm like friends with people that are family and stuff. So I have like 20 friends on Facebook. So really posting it on Facebook, I'm just showing it to family. I can do that at my door. You know what I mean? So I don't really post it. It was Jason who got me into Instagram about a year and a half ago. He was like, dude, you need to open an Instagram account. It'll change the world. And you know what? From a year and a half till today, look where I'm at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Learning how to post my art. The hashtags were confusing as hell, but I'm finally figuring that out. What that whole thing is. And then now to my first video stream. But it's been a learning experience. Instagram has, because they trained you to Facebook for so long, and then
Oh
they
yeah.
like, hey, new and improved but changed up, and we don't really want to tell you how to do it, just figure it out. So I'm not hip enough, I guess, to really figure shit out like that. I didn't do the MySpace Facebook thing other than just say hi to people in Texas.
No, dude. It's understandable, man. I mean, just if you ever need more information, or you just don't really understand shit, just feel free to hit me up, man.
I
You
will.
know.
I'm still trying to figure some of it out. I probably post things on my profile over more than I probably should, because I'm trying to figure out what different things do, and how to work the whole system that Instagram is. And I just figured out the other day what I have an insights button on my when I see
Oh
my
yeah.
stuff in my feed, and I just now figured out if I hit that after a year and a half, if I hit that, I can actually see that somebody saw it off a hashtag, or if they saw it off of this, or how many people actually saw it and how many people actually liked it. Because it's been a learning experience for
No,
sure.
definitely, and I would say keep messing around with that. Go into it. There's a lot of useful information. Such as like your demographics. How many men compared to women are following you, what their age
Right.
brackets are. And also it gives you a nice insight as to some of like your best work. What got the most likes, and you could tailor yourself around that if you like. I try not to. I draw whatever the fuck I want. Um,
Yeah, that's what I've always kind of done, and it wasn't until I just kind of threw something down after I listened to an episode of you and Halo, I believe it was, uh, talking about how to price things, and I'd always kind of thought about trying to maybe sell something, but I've been a little touchy about the subject because I don't think I could get rid of any of this stuff for what I personally feel it's worse in here because hell, but anyway, after that, I actually, yeah, but anyway, I actually posted, I did my first real series that wasn't a digital series, which I got into about a year ago. I'm sure you're going to ask me about how I feel about digital here shortly.
Oh
I'll tell
yeah.
you exactly how I feel about digital. But,
Well, I don't have to ask. We'll get into it, man.
but yeah, I did that, and then that actually got some feedback on it, and just to I don't know. It was it helped. Listen to your show helped, and then I think after that, I went immediately like watched 3 or 4 back-to-back episodes. I had the kids and my girlfriend like, are we gonna watch this all day? I was like, shush. I'm trying to learn some stuff here, you know what I mean? And Josh Queen really, he was really helped me out because Josh, I related a lot to Josh Queen as far as how he was trying to get things done and do his job and his art and manage all that stuff all together, stopping art for a while, getting back into art for a while, which I've heard a lot of guys doing that, which I did as well. Or I
Hmm.
dropped out and got back in it late, and recently in the last 7 years, I think,
Wow.
4 hardcore. But yeah, it's your show has inspired quite a few pieces out of my old bad idea sketchbook. You know what I mean? It's,
That's good. That's good. I mean, it means I'm doing my job then.
yeah, and all you guys, and that's why you'll hear me jump on and be like, dude, man, that's awesome. I love what you're doing, And sometimes I'll just like it, if it's worth just liking. But if it's something that just or it's like, man, fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Just keep
Yeah.
doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. You're gonna get there. Blah blah blah. And it's y'all. Everybody needs it, and you guys did it for me, and I want to do it back in return. That's why I've been trying to support you as much as I can because you guys put some stuff on this wall, and I love y'all for it. So I got your back any day. I'll
Thanks,
promote you
man.
any day.
And that honestly means a lot more than you ever know, man. Let's not start crying with Zim over here, but
But yeah, okay. Where we at now? What do you want
uh
to talk about?
so as far as commissions, man, just really quick, you just never thought about selling it at all, or?
Well, I never really thought I really had what it was to sell anything because I've always had my own vision. I
Okay.
don't really. I kind of honed my art a little bit from I bet as most of us did starting out looking at comic books or magazines and trying to draw what we saw, and then I think it was I did that and stopped because it just bored me. And everybody would say, go to school for it, do something with it. And I'm like, man, it just bores me. I don't want to do it. And I figured out why it bored me because I was 35 years old and I made a firm decision right then and there that I would never, ever draw anything that didn't come out of my head and be my own vision. That's why I don't do a lot of fan art. You might see me
Hmm.
every now and then throw something down like the Venom or some other stuff, but that's just because I had something that I was doing and it was a fuck off piece or something, and or I couldn't, or I was having a block and I couldn't get the pen to flow, so I just pushed it, and
Yeah,
popped
yeah.
out a Joker on accident, which wasn't supposed to be. I don't even know what I was doing, but it ended up being a Joker, and I'm proud of it, and it was something that wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. So I kept it, even though I don't do it, but it's my style, Joker. It's everything I do is you'll never see another pose like it. You'll never see another version of it like it. It just comes from here, and I made that decision that I would never do anything that wasn't original out of my head ever again. So, and that has helped me really hone my skills and push the boundaries because I have to remember what everything looks like out of my head because I don't reference anything. So if I don't know what it looks like, I won't draw it. If I
Yeah.
do know what it looks like, I'll give a damn good try at it. And if it doesn't exist, I'll put it on fucking paper anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as coming to originality and style, man, I think your artwork is it's one of a kind. It's definitely wicked, bro. It's gnarly. I I don't know how to put it. It's very like very gritty, very controlled chaos. That's the only word I could adapt to it. So
And yeah, thank you. That pretty much about sums it up. It's
yeah,
just a little skewed, you know what I mean? That's it's just a little skewed on everything. Just I do. It's just gotta have. It's not right. That's aesthetically pleasing to me, not this. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
That's just how I see things. That's how I see it in my head. And a lot of that, I think, is Sam Keith was a big inspiration in my art. He's the first person that I ever saw a piece of art, and I knew right then and there I had to draw that. It was a Wolverine. He did a cover of Wolverine, and he was all slumped over a log, all big and bulky, the way Sam Keith does. And I just that was it, man. That was the coolest style I'd ever seen, and I think you see it in a lot of my art today. That inspiration, you know what I mean? I don't know if it
yeah,
was stuck in my head. I never bought any of his comic books. He's an artist that I've seen him do different covers of different comics, and just like every time it's like, wow, he has his own style. And to this
yeah,
day, I generally only follow artists on my own feed that I find that are just style I've never seen before, something new, something I've never seen. Hence, at the time, the slaps. I've never seen the slaps before. I'm 44 years old. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not hip. You know what I mean?
no,
never
man,
seen
no,
the
no,
slaps.
definitely.
So
It's
it's
not.
like,
It's not even about being hit, man. It's that's pretty much from the graffiti world got adapted into the art world, man. Change my
yeah,
stars, you know.
but it's a thing I've never seen, and I was like, well, this is cool. That's actually a thing people are doing. So I followed it because I wanted to see how far it's going. And it turns out there's a whole bunch of people that
Oh
love
yeah,
doing the slaps, and I think that's awesome. So I picked those up because I was going to do a little, honorable mention piece. Just throw out a few slaps and hashtag you guys or at you guys or whatever you want to say it.
yeah, yeah,
And just give it back to you. So here.
definitely. And
I
like I was,
follow original stuff.
dope, dope. Change my star. She says that she describes your style as fantastically visionary.
Fantastically or pathetically?
Oh no, 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 no. I read right. Fantastically visionary.
No.
Hey,
Uh,
and I go with that. I second that. You know.
it, and you know why I think that is, to be honest with you, is because a rush. I put things off to the last minute, and to be honest with you, I'm best in my last 5 minutes of anything. So it's that rushed, hurried style, but at the same time, like you said, controlled. But it's when I go into it, I go into it, and it is and I think that's what it is. It's that deadline, and you don't have that time to make that perfect, hyper realistic look. So you throw down what you get, and you just make that look realistic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. So a lot of that I think is it, and that goes back to your mistakes and own what you're putting on that paper, because it will become you, and that is what makes people notice, or that's what sets you a little different from somebody else. Is just that extra you give to it. And people ask me all the time, teach me how to draw, teach me how to draw, show me how do you do that? You want to know the secret? Detail. You
Uh,
take the detail out of anything I do, it'll look like a stupid fucking cartoon. But the detail is what makes it so unique. It's the detail that you put into it, and that's what makes it all. And that's your vision, that's your art, that's what comes out of you is that detail. You can regurgitate anything onto a piece of paper that you see that somebody else has done a million times, but when you make it your own, that's when you get set. You just add that extra to it. And I've seen you throw out some stuff that I was just like, damn, that looks pretty cool. You did a
thank you.
beat Batman. It was like the detail and the hair stubble and stuff. That was like, that got me. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Get that detail, that grit,
That
that
extra
little bit
umph.
in there. Yeah, put that little extra that nobody else wants to do. It might take you 10 hours or 5 hours to draw a freaking hummingbird, but you did it, and you did it. You just think maybe like nobody else ever had. So that's what
Sweet.
I strive for, is to do it a way nobody else ever had.
So That's dope, man. I definitely agree with 110% of what you just said. And as far as the detail goes, I mean, a great example of that would be my boy Tom, TS Art Design. I mean, some of the work he has, it's extremely detailed, and he definitely takes his time on that.
What was his name again?
Uh, TS underscore art design underscore art underscore design.
TSR underscore.
Yeah. TS
Awesome.
Tom S underscore art underscore design. He also he's the boss of CEO of Dreambox Comics.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah. I had him on
I love
too. I think episode 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember because I've gone through quite a few of your guests, and though I haven't got to watch as many episodes as I want to because I don't have time to just I don't really use headphones a lot, and I don't really keep my phone in my pocket too much, so it's not like I can just listen to it like a podcast.
Yeah,
Normally, when I sit down and watch you, I'm in the bedroom and I'll turn on some YouTube or something. I'll put on your episodes and just stream them for a minute.
cool.
That's usually when I try to catch up. So I don't know if I probably follow him. I've probably seen his work because everybody I follow, I look at their work. I'll go from the bottom to the top, try to see their growth, and then I'll usually let them know after about the 8th one that I'm like, dude, all right, I can't like everything. I'm just gonna. You're great. Keep it up. I love your style. What you're doing is awesome. Just do it, and I follow. You know what I mean? But I look
Yeah.
at every single person I follow. I've looked at their art and everything they posted. I go through everybody's art just because, and that's all I follow is artists. A few family members, my girlfriend, because she got jealous because I didn't follow her. But yeah, I mean, I follow artists, and I that's it. My Instagram is dedicated to art. That's it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. And that brings me to another tip that I could share with you guys is something I learned early on. When I was first starting out, I I was putting not only my art, I was putting pictures of myself, pictures of me and my daughter and I, little things about me that make me me. And
Right.
I remember I wanted to go and get a shout out from this fan artist wall thing that they had, page that they had. And when I told the guy, I'm like, hey, can I get a shout out? He's all like, your page is all over the place. He's like, I recommend if you're gonna be an artist, stick to posting your art. If you want to do and you post like what you ate for breakfast or what you're gonna wear outfit of the day, then definitely create another page for yourself. But
Right. Right.
so you're
Yeah, I
doing it
try to
right,
keep
man.
mine strictly down to art. I try to keep it every now and then because I dabble a little bit in photography, and some digital mess and stuff like that. And I might post that every now and then, but I try to not really do it. I try to keep it strictly to my art. And if I do post photography, I might make a little highlight or story or something. Try to keep it off my feed, really. That way, if,
There you go.
if you're interested in it, you can go look at it. I'm not shoving it down your throat. You know.
Oh, excuse me about that.
That's
Wish
all
I had a
right.
mute. Wish I had a mute button.
You did. You just used it. You're good.
And so it's a little bit over halftime here, and just want to ask you, Khan, you want to stick around for a little bit, hour two, or after the show?
Well, yeah. What do you want? What? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you got time, we could go into hour two, man. Maybe knock out half an hour, a little bit more, just so we could keep the chat going, or finish
I'd
hour
love
two,
to.
man.
Yeah. Let's rock. Let's keep rocking on, man. If you're digging it, let's roll.
Yeah. I mean, we got about 20 minutes left on this show here.
Oh
We'll
no, shit,
definitely
it did
continue.
fly. She's right because Poke was like, she had to look at her phone. She's like, "Wow, it did go by." You know, and I was like,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
did. Even watching it, I was like, "That was quick," but it did. It was an hour. It flew by pretty quick.
Yeah,
But yeah,
definitely.
we can roll. Whatever you
Cool. So, let's go ahead and let's see how far we could take one of my favorite segments here on Chatting with Zim, man. It's Josh's Tools. So, shout out
Right, right.
to Josh
Josh
Queen.
Queen.
Josh Queen
Right.
CRL here on Instagram.
Yeah,
This is
I like his art.
definitely, man. This is the segment where we see what you guys are working with and some of your favorite tools, man.
Okay. Well, I guess first and foremost, my number one tool, Sharpies. I only use Sharpies. I have a couple color sharps. That's it. I use Sharpies and Sharpies alone. Uh, I have every color, every tip, size. Uh, when I run out of one I'm using up here, I throw it in the trash and get it out of there and put it back. So
Uh,
I'm a Sharpieaholic. If I see them, I've generally got to have them. I try not to buy them. They're my one addiction. Um, uh, but other than that, see Sharpies, uh, Jelly Roll pens. I tell you what, I've got my 5, 8, and 10 Jelly Roll pens for highlighting. Them things are amazing. They'll make something pop like nothing else. Jelly Roll pens, guys, right here. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there's
yeah.
whites, gel. They're awesome. And like I said, I've got it in 5, 8, and 10 fine line to a thick line that they can really make the detail and highlighting in a piece work. Love them. Actually,
And
one of mine ran out and I freaked out. Had to go straight to Hobby Lobby.
and and no, I hear you, man. And while we're on that subject, really quick, I want to share, just a little artist to artist secret, man. I'm pretty sure I shared this with Thalo Halo, and I'm sure he could back me up when I say, for white pens, my brother, you definitely want to go with this one here. This is a Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a little further.
It's called a Uniball. It's called a Signo
Uniball.
Broad. So
Okay.
Signo. It's a white. It works wonders for making highlights. This is just something
And
I
it's a
want to shout
gel as
out.
well.
Yeah, it's very jelly-like. It's very fluid. And, once your pieces are drying, this will definitely cover over any color.
It's smooth. It's smooth, pretty smooth.
Yeah, very smooth, man.
They'll find, I like the jelly rolls, but I'll tell you what, them suckers will tend to look, they'll get a little jumped up on the ball there, and they kind of want to drag, and sometimes they can be a pain in the ass, but sometimes I guess maybe I'm just rushing and don't let stuff dry the way I should, but
Yeah.
that's probably half of it. But I want something that'll work with me. I don't want to work with it.
No, definitely. I would recommend, if you ever in Hobby Lobby again, check these out. See if they have them.
All right,
Test it
here
out
we
right
go.
there. And
I'll check them out. Yeah, because how much are they? What do they run? Do they got different sizes?
this right now is running for about almost two and some change, almost $3.
Okay.
I actually
Not
got
too
these
bad.
at Michael's. And I would say it's your regular ballpoint pen size. So what are they? 0.5s, 0.7s?
Yeah, I think it'd be about a 0.5 or something like that. Really, yeah. It's just nice. They're a good fine one. Yeah. I got the pack of 3. The 3 sizes that I use on my highlights is like $8 something. A little expensive, but not too bad expensive. If you find something you like, just use that. You know what I mean? If you learn how to work with it, and I find things that'll just click with me sometimes, and I'll just kind of get hooked on them.
Yeah.
Just like that, I guess, sentimental or something. I don't know, but yeah, those. And let's see what else I use just a different variety of things. Usually I'll pick up something and I'll do an entire piece in that media. You know what I mean? And then I'll kind of get into it for 1 or 2 pieces, and then I'll put that down and I'll pick up a different medium. I don't know. Like right now, I went and bought like 4 little black canvases, and I got the 4 metallic color Sharpies. I'm going to do something with those. I never used metallic Sharpies before. I have them, but I just never cared for them on white. And I was like, I'll put them on black. So I'm going to see how those turn out. But like say Joker and the anglerfish that you put up on one of your stories, I did those and I will only have this set because, like I said, once I get something, I'll just stick with it. And these are chalk pastel pencils.
Oh, sweet.
Multiple colors. They worked really good on dark paper. I just liked them. They worked with me really well and how I draw, especially being a left-handed. Uh, Left-handed people have a little harder than right-handed people. Down with righty, if you might want to say. Uh,
Put that on a shirt.
I'm just gonna have to. I just need to invent a pencil that when we're drawing, we're not smearing our stuff as we go. You know, I mean, we have to do everything backwards from you guys,
Yeah.
so it's a little harder. But yeah, especially in a medium like that, you know, it's a little harder because you're dusting everything. You can't work away from it. You're working into it. You know, left-handed, so it's a little harder. And I never did get into the whole easel thing where you're working off the board. You know, and I like to I like to be down there and control what I'm doing. So it's a little harder to work with pastels like that. So I don't use them very often. But I do enjoy them. They are fun and they give a good effect. I like the effect they give.
Yeah, they
they're
do.
fun. I can go on later if anybody's curious or wants to know, you know, or asks. I can put down what I use per piece and you know whatever, so they know how I got that look or whatever. I don't know if that's a thing, but if anybody's really wants to know what I used on this particular thing or this particular thing. My little monster that you see is my little icon up there. They're little Sergeant Art 450 on clearance, probably at the dollar store. They're super fine line markers, multiple colors.
Nice.
For the price, I thought they were just going to be a piece of shit, to be honest with you, Zima. These are little awesome markers, and I recommend anybody just use them just for trying them out. But they laid down some amazing, vibrant color, and they are pretty fine. You can get some detail in there. So that's what I
What's
did
the
that little icon. Do
what are they called again?
These are Sergeant Art Superfine.
All right, there we go.
They look kind of cheap, but they're pretty awesome. My girlfriend got me these and brought them to me. She's like, I got you these. And my first thought was, man, I don't want to use those. And boy, I think I threw out like 5 or 6 things with these little things. And I'll tell you what, they're still rocking. I have Sharpies that have not lasted as long as these little thin things. These will hold some ink, I'm telling you what. And they got some great colors. Their colors really pop off white. Pretty nice. Let's see what else. Airbrush. I use airbrush, and I know you're a Venom fan.
Yes.
I actually had pulled out my Venoms. You asked me once how I got that style, that Venom, and
Oh yeah.
I can actually show you if you're interested in seeing.
Yeah, let's see it, man. Definitely.
All right.
It reminds me when I was a kid, man. Show and tell. We're all back in class again.
Well, yeah, I told you about digital. I wanted to get into digital, so I messed with it. And the first thing I ever put down, I seen a Venom when the movie Venom was coming out for art call on the movie, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds fun." So I got on my phone that my girlfriend got me when she went and got her iPhone. I thought, "Well, give me something that you can draw with. I want to mess with digital." So whatever they got, pick me one of those out, and blah blah. So very first thing I ever put out was a general rough draft on a Venom, my own personal style, pose, or whatever, vision. Okay, that was digital. That was the first thing I ever did digital. Do you see that on my Instagram? It's probably way down somewhere low.
I'm looking at it.
First time I ever picked up an airbrush gun was about 2 days after I did that. A friend of mine gave me an airbrush machine, and it was like, "You want this?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I want it." Yeah. And so I thought I'd try that out. And I did this.
Yes.
Same pose. Just not digital.
There you go.
Okay. There's rough. There's your attempt. And there's final execution.
Man, that's fucking crazy.
So they're all the same style, the same pose. From beginning to end, they're just done how I see it, you know.
Yeah.
And you asked me how I prefer digital to traditional. How do you prefer digital to traditional, Zim?
There you go. Traditional always. My man.
But and a little shout out, since the new Venom movie's coming out, and I think that's probably the only comic character that actually fits with my style because of all the stuff. I'm actually going to. I've got a concept here for Carnage.
Oh, no way, dude.
So I will be doing a Carnage piece where he's half off, half human, teeth there, and I've got to make it look completely different than Venom. So you guys can look forward to
Oh,
seeing a new Carnage piece out there just before the movie hits. I'm going to try to get it out there and maybe get a little pop, a little pop. So that's coming.
for sure. I
So
can't wait for that.
there we are on that stuff, and that's about the only time you'll really see me do any kind of fan
Fan
art
art.
stuff like that. Is when I just kind of want to do stuff like that, or xenomorph because I love Alien, H.R. Geiger. Those are just my things. I got my xenomorph here. Fincher, that's my buddy. I know you collect figures. Yoga posing it today.
Oh, shit. That
That's
looks cool.
Fincher Mazzino. Love him. Got
And
him in Memphis when I was seeing the Tool concert in January 31st or 1st, whatever it was. I don't know.
there you go. And for last little piece for the segment of the tool bag, you said you airbrush. What kind of airbrush are you using? Are you using single action, double action? What exactly are we using there, man? The Posh kit.
It's a, oh, this is a Central Pneumatic, and this is a Iwata Revolution CR. But like
Cool.
I said, I don't use these very often. I think they're double single. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one I actually got really cheap for like $25 at a place called Harbor Freight. I don't know if you know
Oh
that
yeah.
place. You can buy
Yeah.
cheap tools and stuff there. I got this for $25. It interchanges almost completely with every single Iwata part. You can interchange them almost every single part. I couldn't
Wow.
believe that this $25 thing fit this $150 thing. So, I prefer the $25 one to that one if you want to know the truth. It works better.
There you go.
But
Yeah.
yeah, airbrush, and then I use my airbrush pump. Where am I? Just a little
There you go.
airbrush. But I'd like to do more on it. But that's what I use on that. That's what I use
So
there. And the only thing else I guess I'd use tool wise would be if you look on my profile, I have a few digital where you can see where I did the drawing. Uh, and it shows me doing the strokes and all that stuff. I
yeah.
did that. With the Askin slate, which is actually really cool. Have you used one of these?
No, never, man.
They're really cool because for people like us, who like traditional over digital but want to dabble in digital,
Yeah.
it takes paper over it, and it has a little magnetic ring you put over any pencil or a pen
Oh,
that
I
that's
have seen
inside,
this.
and you draw on paper, and it'll digitally transfer. And then you can take your paper off, color it however you want to, and then you have a digital transfer, and you can go into the app that it gives you, and you can do it digitally. But I liked it because I got both a digital, and I got to see how my strokes were. I got to actually see myself draw,
Hmm.
which was cool to look back and see how you do your own work. And you also get a hard copy. I got several Shocker, Random Angel. There were several I did on this jellyfish xenomorph that I did on this that I have hard copies of and a digital reference on how I drew it, and it's really
Wow.
cool, really cool. It's not very big, it's just small like that. You just put your paper right there on there. It's just a little sheet of paper like so. Good for slap size or whatever. size of you guys use a lot more than I do. I'm really thinking after the hummingbird lily that I'm going to go small.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
tired of that big shit. Uh, but uh, but like I
Time
said,
and place.
any pencil, and you just take this little ring here. It's just this little ring. And it slides right over any pencil, and you just go to town. But it has the book. You have to like, uh, you know, you hit that every now and then, and it keeps all your stuff centered and where it was. It doesn't let it get out of whack.
Cool.
Uh, but it's not bad. It's really fun. It's really fun. I don't use it as much as I should because I don't really have like a laptop or a good tablet to really display it on because it Bluetooths to something and you can watch yourself draw as you're drawing. Uh, or it also records it. You can also hit a button on there and it'll record every stroke you make. And then later, like if you're out somewhere, and then you can go back and plug it into your computer and it'll download what you did. It saves what you did and puts it on the computer. It'll save up to so many megs or whatever of artwork
Yeah.
before you got to transfer it off.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
what was that called one more time for us?
It's the iSkin,
iSkin.
ISKN Slate 2.
Slate 2. That sounds pretty interesting, man.
It's pretty cool. And I know it's backwards for you guys. I mean, let me turn it upside down so it's backwards. But
cool, man.
Yeah, that's there. And let me see. That's really about all the tools I use. I don't paint. I don't use paints. Everything I've done on canvas, I did with Sharpies, brush tip Sharpies, and jelly rolls or whatever I just showed you is the only thing I use. And
cool, man.
I hear people say, "Do you like Copics? Do you like Copics or Copics or whatever?" Then I'll tell you right now, fuck Copics. I dare them to send me a set of Copic markers that Sharpie, same colors as Sharpie, and I bet my Sharpies will outperform. And if they don't, I'll keep the markers and retract this statement.
Oh, there you go.
No, I will.
There you go, guys.
No, I would like to try them, but it's just out of my price range. I've never used them, but I tell you what, Sharpies. I'm a firm believer. I stand firm on Sharpies, and I about almost want to say if they sent me some, I guarantee you I could outperform with Sharpies than I could Copics. And if I don't, if I can't prove that, then I'll take it back, and I'll turn into a Copics guy or Copic or whatever, however you want to say their name.
However you say it, tomato.
But tomato. But
man, hey Con, we got there's about 2 minutes left. I don't know. Let's go ahead and finish this early. I don't know if you need a break, get a refill, use the restroom really quick, and then we'll jump back on for hour 2 if you want.
Hell yeah, man! Whatever you want to do. As long as every now and then, somebody, might have one of the kids come strolling in or something. They're kind of piddling around here somewhere, but we might have a kid walk on through. And there's actually one I'd like to introduce, Josie. She's quite an amazing little artist. I've been trying to mentor a little bit and push her to do something with her talents. And I'd like to give her a little shout out later. So yeah, let's keep on rolling.
Cool.
I still want to show the hummingbird lily, by the way.
No, man, that's definitely it's a good cliffhanger for people to come back.
It is. Yeah, it is, man. So, I tell you what, it's worth to stick around. You're gonna be impressed because I've kept it pretty hidden. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. I think Jake's drawing is the only person who's seen it.
Oh, cool, man. And guys, who's ever the viewers on episode 1, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like, hey, it's part of show business.
It is.
Cool, man.
Right, so we just
I'm definitely gonna
hit me back in a little bit, or
yeah. I'm gonna end it and then restart it back up and just join in.
All right, awesome.
Cool, guys. Guys, this is episode 30. This is part 1 of 2 with our friend ConArtist at ConArtist Graphic Design. You guys know the name.
Right.
Now, let's make sure you guys stick around and come right back. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Thank you, Zima. And thanks, everybody that watched. Thanks for the support. Zima, he's doing an amazing thing for people out there. just go to him. If you don't dig what he's got to say, listen to some of his guests, because I guarantee you can relate to any of them.
Oh, for sure, man.
Some of them, it's helpful and it's inspiring to hear that people are having the same struggles as you getting it done. So
For sure.
keep strong, everybody out there. You stay grind it out. Keep grinding, like Zuma says. Keep grinding, everybody.
All right, we'll be back.